Hey guys, it's Jill with Jill vs. Life, and wait for some people to hop on here. As you're hopping on, if you'll throw up some thumbs up or some hearts or leave me a comment, let me know that you can hear me. First announcement of the night is that my tripod broke as I was trying to do this. So I guess we could have a little joke. What do you call a two-legged tripod? I don't really know, but anyways. So I'm going to throw out there, if anybody has a recommendation for an phone tripod, it needs to fit the iPhone Plus. I need a new one because this happened. I was wrapping it around my steering wheel in my minivan studio and the leg fell off. So anyways, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about tonight, but I do need some recommendations for a new tripod, obviously. Probably needs to come from Amazon because that's where everything in my life comes from. Anyways, tonight I just wanted to hop on briefly, give a little update about my experiment that I've been participating in. And talk a little bit about some things I've been learning, some things that are kind of, I don't know, a little bit eye-opening for me. So anyways, so as far as an update, sorry, I'm a little tired, a little off of my game tonight, so forgive my spaciness. So today was probably the first day since I started. We are day 11, 10 or 11. And today's the first day that I, just did not have my shit together. I planned well, I took stuff to work. I didn't feel well this afternoon, and so I came home early, left all the stuff that I had prepped at work. And then we had parent-teacher conferences and I went a little bit too long, without eating. My blood sugar got low. I get a little hangry when that happens, and I ended up having a tortilla and a half at dinner. So 3 weeks ago that'd have been a huge win, but it's all perspective. So anyways, probably was enough to knock me out of ketosis for a little while, but I'm not going to sweat it. I'm gonna get up in the morning, do better, drink my water tonight. Finished a batch of the lemon ginger water. If you guys didn't get the recipe for that, it was in the last blog that I posted about the about my Metabolic Prime. It is awesome. It has kept me from wanting soda or any of the other crap that I typically used to drink instead of water, so it's kind of helping me get my water in, and it tastes awesome. I didn't have any cayenne pepper last time. It has lemon, ginger, cayenne pepper, and then a little stevia to taste. And like I said, the recipe is on my blog, so check that out. And I didn't have any cayenne pepper last time, and so I got that from the grocery store yesterday, so I'll put a little dash of that in the batch I'm going to make either tonight or tomorrow morning and see what the difference is. Anyways, I'm rattling, I'm sorry. But I do have a point that I'm getting to tonight, I promise. So a lot of what I've been learning over the past 2 days relates to the gut, and by gut I mean your intestines, basically. So the gut essentially is anywhere from your mouth all the way through all the business, all the way to your rectum. So that whole thing is your gut. And so what we're talking about, in this whole thing is gut health, and just how much of our health and body the gut actually, affects. So the gut-brain connection is kind of what we're talking about today, or that I'm going to talk about today, that I've been learning about a lot, and it's pretty interesting to me. One of the statistics that I learned in one of the talks, and then I did a little more research on my own because I'm kind of a big nerd, but 90% of the body's serotonin is made in the gut. I would have never in a million years guessed that. There are just tons and tons of nerve receptors in the gut. There was a guy that wrote a book almost 18 years ago called The Second Brain, and it was all about gut health and how it affects our bodies and how it affects our brains, the way we think, all those things. And that was almost 18 years ago. The doctor that was talking today talked about how, and this, coming from the medical field, I completely see how this is accurate, but like studies and theories and things that come out in the medical field take almost 20 years from when they're discovered to when they actually start to be used and recognized in the medical community. So all this talk about gut health started almost 20 years ago. Well, it started longer ago than that. If you saw my quote, started a long ass time ago. But anyways, seriously talked about almost 20 years ago was when, research about this really started to grab hold. And now, just now, it's really starting to pick up in the mainstream medical community. And it's not, fully talked about a lot, but it's really starting to pick up steam. A lot of it makes just like incredible sense. One of the things that I thought was interesting is IBS, for instance. We've heard a lot about how IBS is related to anxiety and depression, and I was always under the impression that you were anxious or depressed, and then that's what caused the IBS symptoms. And now that they're looking at it, it's kind of a chicken egg situation. So is it the unhealthy, intestines causing the IBS because of the depression and anxiety, or is it the unhealthy gut causing depression and anxiety? So, we don't know. And, or I don't know, I haven't researched enough yet, but that was really super interesting to me to think that if that's just one small thing, sorry, I'll put my broken leg down, it's distracting me. If that's just one small thing that it's affecting, imagine, the other things that are affected in our bodies from just what's in the gut. The other very interesting thing that kind of relates more to food that are things that maybe we have more control over were when we talked about the our gut biome, which is the bacteria and the living organisms that are in our gut. So the body, in a perfect world, you have good microbes in your gut that are doing happy, wonderful things in your body, taking care of everything they need to, and then we eat McDonald's. Processed food, sugar, I'm not just picking on McDonald's, but processed food, sugar, all kinds of things that disrupt that good bacteria. In addition, they feed the bad bacteria, so it has a chance to take over. So not only are we, choking out this good bacteria, but the bad microbes in our gut, they release a substance called, I gotta read it because I won't remember it, lipopolysaccharide, or LPS is what I'm going to refer to it as. And this is a toxin. LPS does a number of things. I'm just going to touch on a few. Travels to our brain, lowers dopamine and serotonin levels, and can lead to, they're showing that it can lead to early memory loss. So, Alzheimer's symptoms caused by something we ate. Like, that's incredible to me that we could change that disease state by changing the way that we eat. Obviously can affect your weight, but not exactly how you'd think. LPS reverses the hormones that trigger us to know that we're full, our hunger hormones and our hormones that indicate satiation. And so that's kind of like eye-opening. LPS can lower thyroid stimulating hormone, which can lead to diseases like Hashimoto's, other thyroid diseases that can wreak havoc on our metabolism and all sorts of other things in our body that affects our skin, can lead to conditions like eczema, rosacea, acne, the list goes on, all linked to bad gut bacteria. And then the last one is stress and energy. So this LPS that travels to our brain affects our adrenal gland, which releases our stress hormones. So it messes with the adrenal gland, releases more and more stress hormone, and that leads to chronic stress, fatigue, and then chronic stress, fatigue leads to poor eating choices because you don't have the energy to make good eating choices, no working out, no exercise, no, motivating your body to do good, and the cycle continues. So all that stuff was very interesting to me, just how affected by food our whole system is. I mean, we know that when your diet is good, when you're eating well, that you feel better, that you lose that brain fog, that things just generally go better in your thinking, in how your body works. But there's, this is kind of scientific hardcore evidence, which the nerd in me, I thrive and love that stuff. But so what can we do about it? The one thing we can do about it is start to starve the bad bacteria. Stop eating processed food. Limit the amount of sugar. Those are what feed that bad bacteria. So we starve those off, they'll eventually die. And then we rebuild the gut with good bacteria. My husband is juggling oranges in front of me in the garage. And he's trying to distract me. That's just going to make his portion when we do. That was an orange hitting my windshield, FYI. He's in trouble. Anyways, we rebuild the good bacteria in our gut. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in another episode because I know I've gotten pretty windy here. Anyways, I find this stuff super interesting. It's really helping me to learn why making good choices is better instead of just, making a good choice to lose weight. Like, that gets to where that motivation is hard to hold on to. Anyways, hope you guys found this interesting and maybe a little bit helpful. If anybody has any questions or, any contributions, I would super love to hear what you have to say. Put them in the comments, send me a message. I'll be posting all of this information in my blog a little bit later tonight and would love to hear from you all. So thanks for hopping on tonight. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great night. Again, this is Jill with Jill vs. Life, and I will talk to y'all soon. Good night.